Hello walkers, and welcome to City Walks, where we explore and discover and ramble about these places as we find new and interesting things, hopefully, and have a little chat and have a treadmill travel experience, hopefully relaxed travel as well. We start off at well, let me get to that in a second. We started off at Dodge and 20th, and you probably already know where we are, but I'm going to hold that secret for just a moment. My name is Henry. I will be your proxy walker today, your virtual travel guide. I tend to get a little distracted as we see new and interesting things, so bear with me. It's the end of November, and about, I think it was 56 degrees Fahrenheit, 11 degrees Celsius. It's about 1:15 p.m. I think I said it was the end of November. Beautiful, beautiful day here in, that's right, Omaha, Nebraska. This is a second walk I've done, so if you didn't see the first one, check that out. Oh man, I've just been blown away by this city. We've only been here a little while. Kind of want to go walk down there, but also kind of don't. We are headed south right now. This is the second Scottish Rite Masonic Center that I've seen. I saw one in Sioux City this morning. I don't know the difference. I don't know much about the Masons, but it's a cool building. We're going to be fighting the sun a little bit here as we make our way down to the old market. I'm going to pan around. That is that tall thing is the First National Bank of Omaha, part of their empire. And they've done, check out the other walk at the end, towards the end. There's this amazing sculpture that kind of wraps around 2 or 3 blocks. It's a series of sculptures, but very cool, very impressive, loving it. And so check that out. But we are walking down 20th. We're going to come up here on Farnham. I think we passed Douglas. And we're going to see some of these neat old buildings, really cool modern buildings, and just kind of explore our way around this part of downtown. Now off to the west, in that direction, you see the Holiday Inn Express and even hotels, some other stuff. There is another across 480, that's the interstate, one of the interstates. There's a bunch of buses because there's a field trip going on at the Orpheum Theater that hopefully we'll walk by. So off in that direction across the highway is a whole nother locus of large, modern sort of ish buildings, so 70s, 80s, 60s, that kind of thing, would be my guess. There's a statue of a stick figure on the edge of that. Lots of public art here. Lots of performing arts centers. So cool. And it's such a such a cool place that I keep forgetting where I want to go. Look, this is the Rose Blumkin Performing Arts Center. Excuse me, or the Rose Blumkin Performing Arts Center. And you can see, it's hard because the sun's right behind it, but the pattern of the brickwork, the stonework around there, absolutely beautiful. I love that they have maintained that in this city. Such a cool thing. Adds so much to the character of the place. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Thank you especially to our Patreon supporters. I'm going to go up here and see a little bit of this ornate, detailed work here, but excuse me, I've got a scratch in my throat. So you see this? Who does that anymore? That's super cool. It's encouraging, and it helps on road trips like I'm on right now, where we're headed from Montana down to South Carolina, and then back after we visit some families. I'm gonna have to wait for the light. Should have brought a lozenge. series of school buses coming in to pick up their students. Took a little clip break there. The light was going forever. So hopefully we'll end up down here by the Orpheum Theater somewhere. There's so many things to see, and I don't really know my way around, which, as I forewarned you and foretold you, I tend to do. I tend to get easily distracted. I do a little bit of research. You can hear about the details of Omaha in the earlier video, or you can just look it up. It's all available on Wikipedia and Google. Certainly where I found it. It's the Woodman Life building. So some Indian food here. Not sure what building that is, but it's got some interesting artwork. I'm gonna cut across, maybe. Who knows? Yeah, go across first. I guess I could look it up in my app here. It doesn't say. It does say that I'm going to cross. Says churro truck. And I think I'm going to go this way, then I'll go to the right. It's so strange being in a massive city like this, and I know compared to LA or Houston or New York, maybe Chicago, it's not a big deal. But coming from a little old Livingston, Montana, it's really impressive and interesting. So that's the county courthouse over there. I'm wondering if I can cut through. I'm going to guess that I can. So the building behind us is the Civic Center. Well, do I? Yeah. Okay, so I'll zigzag. There's so many cool old buildings, and I'm drawn to the old ones, but I also like the modern ones that are well done, you know, that they've done something other than just throw up glass and steel in a big box. Okay, I want to see that red brick building too. That looks super cool. Ooh, can I get over here? Looks like there might be a stairwell. Sorry for the blinding sunlight. There we go. Hope we can get down from here. Looks like we can. We'll go this way because we have to. Somewhere, and I'm not quite picking up what Google Maps is putting down here. Somewhere I thought there was a Federal Reserve Bank. Probably walked past it and didn't notice it. You've got this sort of this county courthouse next to me, and then this modern building going up here, and it's interesting. I feel like they could have maybe done a little more with it, but it's probably a public building, so that's hard to justify sometimes. We are on Harney Street. And here's the Keeling building. I'm gonna duck left because that suits my schedule here. It's interesting, they've got netting on from the first floors up. Beautiful workmanship, of course. I kind of wonder if it's for pigeons or if it's to protect from bits falling off. I don't really know. I mentioned this morning in my Sioux City walk, wondering if these, this building, this red brick building straight ahead, which is awesome, very classic, very historic. I appreciate it. And then I look at this building next door, and I don't appreciate it. That does not to my taste, which is fine. But I wonder if at some point, even those buildings will flip from dated to classic. As time and fashion changes, we're sort of get locked in a little bit to the semiology of the architecture of the time. Not to get too pretentious about it. I'm digging the eagle up there. Big, I guess it's bronze eagle. This is the Omaha building. Kind of right about, right up there. I love that. And they've got netting too. I suppose it must be for birds. And then we've got, I don't know what this building is, but I like the looks of it. Nice classic look to it. Like the restaurant sign, which I don't think indicates an actual restaurant. It's the Graham building. Says the placard. The parallax of the buildings there. Oh, it's like synthetic Zion. And that building, I spoke in the other one, that's the First National Bank. In my earlier video from here, hi there, how older buildings were designed for pedestrians in terms of visually, right? Like the interesting stuff's there. Gets a little bland, then you see the crenellations up top. Buildings like that were designed in many cases. As we come down to, I guess, well, I can't really tell because 16th Street in Farnham, and we're going to make a right on 16th. They were designed to be seen from freeways as you drove past at, that thing has got some bass, as you drove past at 60, 80 miles an hour, or 55 maybe for that era. It's a neat old building that the Chinese restaurant used to be in. Well, I'm going to back it up real quick because I want to show you the glass. I'm just going to go over there. Of Napers. I love these curved glass display areas. You can get a little peek at me as well. This is just so fascinating to me, and I hope that someday somebody will rehab this and turn it into either a restaurant or it looks like there's a barber shop in there, or used to be. I don't know, whatever. Look, it's just cool, like the curved glass and the detailed metalwork on that. I love it. Now, of course, I'm in the sun, which is not ideal. Downtown Food Mart. Lots of great restaurants down here. We're going to end up at the Old Market, and super cool area down there. This is the Orpheum Tower, and the Orpheum is a theater of some sort, and it looks like kids galore down here. When we drove by here earlier today, coming into town, there were 2 lanes of school buses all the way from there up to here and beyond, and then the street down there was closed off and buses double packed in there. So obviously there's some sort of big event going on. Maybe they came down to see Hamilton. That must be an awesome experience for kids to see. My kids love that. We saw it on the streaming service. I can't remember which one it's on, but they and their friends still recite the raps in it, which is super fun. Unfortunately, well, you can see how they're stacked in here 3 abreast for an entire block up there to the right on 15th. Unfortunately, I don't really want to go film kids, so they're going to block my access to over there. Yeah, well, we shall endeavor to persevere. First, I'm going to show you Hotel Deco here. Love it. I can see there being an awesome cocktail bar in there, maybe, or at least a coffee bar. There's tons of construction going on here. There's a big giant park they're building downtown. It's like 2 blocks over by another Holland Performing Arts Center. I went past that in an earlier walk. It's going to be amazing. Looks like it. A couple of other, there's like 2 parks that First National Bank of Omaha seems to have sponsored. That's where those sculptures are. Sculptures built into the cornerstones of buildings. Oh, who would have thought? That's fun. These buildings. But I am going to try and get around here. Ooh, it smells good. Some restaurant vent is tempting my tummy. All right, so what I'm going to do, I think, is go down 14th. We're at 14th and Harney, and I'm going to cut back up. Look at all these buses lined up here. That's fun. That's such a cool experience for those kids to get to have. The Wilson Washburn building, very cool as well. And hopefully I'm going to get over here to an area that I didn't get to film before. As I said, I don't really know about a whole lot about Omaha. I haven't been here before. But I am, in addition to being blown away by it, is there's so much to see and show that it's sort of, just gotta, sometimes you gotta pick a direction and go with it. Hope for the best. Neat old alley. Coming up on Howard. We're going to go up a couple blocks because there's another thing I want to check out for my own satiation, sating my curiosity. I think curiosity is one of the most important things a person can have. I like to talk about how much I enjoy, or relate how much I enjoy y'all's comments. So I hope you will provide additional information, correct anything that I may have missed out. There's the Orpheum Tower again. Counter anything I might have said that you don't agree with in a gentle and respectful way, hopefully. I'm going to cross the street because I don't want to get in amongst the children. And let me know your preferences and just be a part of the community. Help other people's, if they have questions or suggestions. Share your memories. I love hearing people's personal stories about these places. And, you know, sometimes it's their great uncle was buried somewhere, or they used to go visit somewhere as a kid, or they used to live here or something. I love hearing their input, and I love hearing your input and your stories. It's a lot of fun for me, and it's been a surprise. I've said this before in other videos, but surprised at how much of that, how do I say this? I'm surprised at how, of all the things I enjoy from this channel, that is how significant that has been. So I appreciate your comments and your subscribers and stuff, but we're not done yet. We're going to keep walking. Yeah, so thanks. Give me a shout. Also, like suggestions in terms of places to visit, things to see. I had a viewer, I mentioned that I'm going to be coming through Omaha, and she said, "Oh, you'll love it. So many great parks, so many great things to see and do." Man, I had no idea though. She was absolutely right. It is fantastic. And I haven't even gone down by the river. I'm 2 videos and I'm showing you a small part of it. Hopefully some good parts. This is the Magnolia. I don't know what that is. Hotel maybe? Restaurant? Hotel. Magnolia Hotel. Looks nice. Look at another building going up. Well, this is part of that modern building, I guess. So much construction going on here. Not in a negative way, but in a prosperity kind of way. I believe we're coming up on the Flatiron apartment rental agency. Now I have to guess that they've taken their name from the historic Flatiron building in New York. Not quite as sharp, but they definitely a triangular building. I don't know, that's kind of fun. I love the rounded edges. I was talking about that with the glass, but with the brickwork and stonework as well, and wood. You know, you see that on an old Victorian home with the turret and the spire at the top. Get it out of the sun here in a second. We're on 17th, coming up on Jackson. I'm going to Jackson. Over there is the Criminal Justice Center, that backlit brick building. We're going to curve around and go downhill. Just see some of these other buildings. Hopefully get the light at our back a little bit. There's the back of the Magnolia Aquila Court. And of course, the locus, the center of mass of downtown. Now, look at that tall brick building. And then it's got half of that, I don't know what you would call that, cornice. Super ornate, I guess copper, given the patina. Oh, love it. That is so cool. I have to wonder if there were other buildings around it, or maybe it's got windows on all sides. Something Tower. Remington, maybe? I don't know. Now this building over here reminds me a bit of Butte, Montana. It's really interesting. It's got that metalwork down on the base, but it needs work. It needs some love. But then you've got this modern apartment condo building attached to it. That's pretty cool. That doesn't remind me of Butte. Love Butte, by the way. This is the fire division headquarters. Very space agey. I can see that being a classic look someday. Oh, another thing, these bike lanes. I mean, not every street has them, but there are dedicated bike lanes that they've set aside and taken street space to do it, to be bike friendly. And I think that's great. You know, it's a great way to reduce traffic, improve the air quality, all that fun stuff. So kudos to Omaha to becoming pedestrian and bike friendly. Good for you. Coming up on 15th here. And I think we're gonna go over to the cobblestone when we catch the light. Or before. Kind of neat old dark brick building. And I love this cobblestone they've got over on this side of town. That can't be cheap to maintain, but it sure adds a lot of character, which I like. The Joslyn Lofts, and I would live there. I wonder if there's a lot of outdoor opportunities out here. They do have the bluffs across the river, but you know, we like mountains. There's an ornate entryway too. I like that. Oh man, I like it all. It's all good. Or if you just have to like being in the city. Certainly they have the river, so if you're into boating and fishing, that probably helps, or maybe bird hunting in the fall. Kind of wonder if they have bike trails along the river too. I should do some more research on that front. So much more quiet over here. I gotta plug in a external battery if I can get the wire out and the battery. Just in the nick of time. Ooh, look at this, the O'Keefe elevator. Okay. I don't know what this place is, but looks fun. Oh, classic. Classic, classic, classic. All right, we're on Jones. We're crossing 14th. The Sozo Coffee House. Empty space here, but hopefully it'll be taken up by some restaurant or someplace cool. Fix it up. I'm sure that is not a small feat, fixing up one of these old buildings. Coming up on 13th Street. Down there are some storage lofts. I don't know what the brick building is. It's got some buttresses on the side. I'm going to cross here as soon as I can get across. It's an interesting old building here. Some vines and metal framing, ornate brickwork. Looks like copper. Maybe it's just painted. I don't know. Attorneys at law. That makes sense. Looks like in a law office for some reason. The Anheuser-Busch Beer Depot. Fun. Oh, that's awesome. Hopefully they're redoing that too. Somehow I gotta find where I left my oldest son in a coffee shop. I've been walking for a couple hours now and I'm not exactly sure where I left him. I think he's over here. I'll walk down the street because it's pretty. Kaneko or Kanek. That's a little weird looking. Does not look level. I wonder if it's a ramp situation or intentionally throwing off perspective. Interesting. Okay, I know where we are now. Thunderhead Brewing. We covered that. We walked by in a different direction earlier, so I know where we are. Vaguely. This is the Boiler Room restaurant over here in this cool old building. Looks like at least they're using part of the space. And the upper reaches may or may not be in use. Cool iron fire escape. I think it keeps getting warmer. Maybe it's that I'm wearing a sweater and a jacket. Oh, this is funky. Vintage ballroom. Kind of like how they have that curtain up. It's different. Looks like a restaurant, maybe? Yeah. I like it. So we're getting into the old market district again. I say again because we started out there in our first walk. Many a mile have we covered. At least a couple. Since I started at around 11:15 this morning, the first walk. Here's walking by the Collins, Upstream Brewing Company away across the way. And we'll end up there here in a minute. Not at the brewery, although I wouldn't argue with that. But we are going to end up in the market district. And one of the things that I love about this district, just these 4 square blocks, I think, the district is probably bigger, but these look like the old market stalls. They have these roofs, and they're not just, they're old iron, old style, and they look a little rickety, but I think that just adds to the flavor. Coming up on the Spaghetti Works, and I am digging it. The police. There. Love seeing a cool e-bike. You can see over there. It just reminds me of Europe for some reason, sort of fin de siècle Europe. I don't know, it's cool. I love it. And then the building over there. And then we're gonna go up, I think it is Howard. Hi there.
Do you happen to have $2 or $3 you can spare?
I'm sorry, I don't.
Okay, thank you.
This has got a lot of nice shops on it. And I can imagine how much fun it must be down here on a weekend evening. Excuse me. And all the shops and restaurants and breweries and Spaghetti Works and pizza places. I don't know. I'm just excited. I love Omaha now. I am converted if I was ever anything other than that. Thank you guys for joining me. I'm going to end it a little early here because I'm coming up on the coffee shop where my kid is. Excuse me, and I got a scratch in my throat. We're going to head to Kansas City. Hope to see you there. Until then, keep on stepping.